Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going deep into the world of Ionis Pharmaceuticals.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this company that's kind of revolutionizing medicine with RNA-targeted therapies.
Really fascinating stuff.
We've got all sorts of sources with us today. Company profiles, financial reports, research articles,
Yeah.
the latest news,
All the good stuff.
all the stuff we need to give you guys the insights you need.
Definitely.
So, ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
All right. Ionis Pharmaceuticals. Over 3 decades they've been around.
Yeah. Starting back in '89.
Like, way back.
Most people didn't even know what RNA was back then.
Right. Let alone using it to develop drugs.
That was like the Wild West of biotech.
Total pioneers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But, okay, before we get too deep into the science,
Okay.
I got to ask about the name change.
Oh, yeah.
Ionis Pharmaceuticals. What were they thinking?
I think they realized that maybe wasn't the best look.
Yeah.
They rebranded back in 2015.
Good call. I think we can all agree on that one.
Definitely a good call.
But you know what's interesting is, even with that name change,
Yeah.
they never really changed direction.
They've always been super focused on those RNA therapies.
Yeah, just refining their approach over the years.
Exactly. Building on what they've learned.
That's pretty impressive for biotech. You know, it's a fickle world.
It really is. A lot of companies jump from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
But Ionis has stayed true to their vision.
Right. Let's rewind back to the beginning.
Back to the roots.
Stanley T. Crook, the founder, he was like obsessed with RNA, right?
He was, yeah.
What was his big idea?
So Crook, he didn't just see RNA as a messenger molecule,
Yeah.
He thought we could use it to target diseases at their source.
Like at the root?
Yeah, like intercepting a bad message before it could cause any problems.
Intercepting the bad guys. Like that.
It was a radical idea back then.
It was. No one was really thinking about RNA in that way.
And it took a lot of, pushing, a lot of persistence to make it happen.
Yeah, I bet.
But he stuck with it. And that's how Ionis was born.
So their first big win,
Mm-hmm.
1998, Flumiversin, right?
Yeah, a treatment for this serious eye infection in AIDS patients.
That was huge for them, wasn't it?
It was a game changer. The first FDA-approved antisense drug.
Wow.
Proof that this technology could actually work.
So they really proved the doubters wrong.
They did. They showed the world that RNA-targeted therapies had potential.
But then it got withdrawn from the market.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, kind of a bittersweet success story.
What happened?
So new HIV treatments came out that basically made Flumiversin unnecessary.
Oh, so it was a victim of its own success in a way.
You could say that.
Wow, that's the pharma world for you.
Yeah, it's a constantly evolving landscape.
But hey, it was still a crucial stepping stone for Ionis, right?
Absolutely. It gave them the confidence to keep going, to keep pushing the boundaries.
And their mission statement really reflects that dedication,
Oh, yeah.
delivering a better future for people with serious diseases.
They really believe in that.
They don't just talk the talk, right? They walk the walk.
Absolutely. Like, check out their ION RPA program.
Yeah, ION RPA.
It's modeled after DARPA,
DARPA, the agency that basically invented the future.
Yeah. Internet, GPS,
Crazy, right?
and Ionis. They're taking that same kind of approach.
Wow.
Funding research that could lead to, some really out there breakthroughs.
They're not afraid to swing for the fences.
Not at all. They're going for the big wins.
I like that.
It's a bold strategy, but it could pay off big time.
Okay, so we've got this company, bold vision, track record of innovation, committed to pushing the boundaries of science.
Yeah.
But how does their technology actually work?
All right, so imagine DNA as the blueprint of our cells.
Okay, I'm with you.
And RNA is like the messenger carrying those blueprints to the construction site.
So like the instructions.
Exactly. And if there's a flaw in the blueprint...
Like a typo.
Yeah, exactly. That can lead to a disease. Antisense technology, it's like sending a special agent to intercept that faulty blueprint.
Whoa, hold on. Like a secret agent mission.
Pretty much. Antisense oligonucleotide, or ASO.
ASO.
It stops that bad message before it can cause any harm.
So like stopping a wrong turn before you get lost.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I like that.
So these ASOs, they have different ways of working.
Oh, tell me more.
Some of them, they're like demolition crews destroying the faulty RNA.
Just taking it out completely.
Gone. And others, they're more like editors. They tweak the RNA a bit.
Like fixing the typo.
Exactly. And then some are like bodyguards blocking the faulty RNA from doing its thing.
So they've got a whole team of RNA manipulators.
They do. It's amazing how precise they can be.
And they're even targeting the DNA itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The antigene strategy, they call it.
So like fixing the original blueprint.
Exactly. It's super powerful, but it's also,
A little scary.
Yeah, there's a lot of research to be done.
Yeah, ensure it's safe.
But the potential is huge, especially for genetic diseases.
It's mind-blowing.
It really is. We're talking about potentially curing diseases that were once considered incurable.
So Ionis, they're at the cutting edge of all of this.
Yeah, they're leading the charge.
And they're not just focusing on one type of disease.
Nope. Their pipeline is incredibly diverse.
Neurological disorders, cardiovascular disease, rare diseases, cancer.
They're tackling it all.
They're like the RNA Avengers.
I like that. They're out there fighting the good fight against disease.
Well, let's dig into some of those specific drug candidates.
Yeah, let's see what they're working on.
What are some of the highlights, the things that,
The things that are really exciting.
yeah, they'll get our listeners hooked.
Okay, well, first up, Zilganersen.
Zilganersen.
It's for Alexander disease.
That's a rare one.
It is super rare and devastating.
Primarily affects children.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
I can't even imagine.
But Ionis, they're working on it, trying to find a treatment.
That would be huge.
It would for those families.
It really would.
Just imagine the impact.
All right, what about Alzheimer's?
Ah, the big one.
I know a lot of people are concerned about that.
Of course, it affects so many people.
What's Ionis doing on that front?
Well, they're coming at it from multiple angles.
Okay, smart.
There's ION-269, targets a protein involved in amyloid plaque formation.
Amyloid plaques, yeah.
And they're also researching Ionis MapTrex, which goes after the tau protein.
Tau, another big player in Alzheimer's.
Exactly. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Good strategy.
Especially with a disease as complex as Alzheimer's.
Makes sense.
They're exploring different avenues.
And it's ALS too, right?
Oh, yeah. They've got some promising candidates for ALS.
Tofersen.
That's one of them. Targets a specific genetic mutation.
So it's really targeted.
Yeah, precision medicine. That's the idea.
Tailoring treatments to individual patients based on their genes.
Exactly. That's the future.
It's amazing.
And they're not just focused on the big-name diseases either.
Right, I was just going to say that.
They're also working on treatments for less well-known conditions.
Like hereditary angioedema.
Yes. Donidalorsen. That's their lead candidate for HAE.
Debilitating immune condition, right?
It is. Causes really severe swelling.
They're really dedicated to patient needs.
They are, no matter how rare the condition might be.
It's impressive.
So yeah, their drug discovery platform.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
It is churning out potential treatments for all sorts of diseases.
Ionis, an intriguing company to follow.
Oh, for sure. They're one to watch.
They've got the science, the vision, the dedication.
And the potential to change the face of medicine.
Absolutely. But it's not just about the science.
Right.
It's about getting those treatments to the people who need them.
Yeah, from the lab to the patient.
And that's where their business model comes in.
Exactly.
And that's what we'll explore next.
Stay tuned.
All right. So we've seen the science. We've seen that incredible pipeline they have. But let's get down to, the business side of things.
The nitty-gritty.
How do they get these treatments to market?
Yeah, and turn those breakthroughs into revenue.
Right, because it's got to be expensive, right?
Oh, incredibly expensive.
Developing these RNA therapies.
Yeah, tons of resources, time, expertise.
That's not something they could do all alone, right?
Really? No company could, even one like Ionis.
So partnerships, they're key.
Absolutely essential in this industry.
And I've heard Ionis mentioned with some pretty big names.
Yeah, they've been really strategic about their partnerships.
Biogen, AstraZeneca, Novartis, these are big players.
Huge players. And those partnerships give Ionis access to...
To what? Like resources?
Resources, definitely. Expertise, global reach.
Things they might not have on their own.
Exactly. It's a win-win for everyone involved.
So what's in it for those big companies then?
Well, Ionis brings something unique to the table, right?
Yeah, their antisense technology, the deep understanding of RNA.
Big pharma, they recognize that potential. They want to be a part of it.
It's like they're saying, hey, you guys are the RNA experts. We need you.
Exactly. And one of the best examples of that collaborative approach, Spinraza, the treatment for spinal muscular atrophy.
SMA, yeah, I've heard of that.
Ionis developed it, but they partnered with Biogen to get it out there.
And that's been a game changer for those patients, hasn't it?
Absolutely life-changing stuff.
It really shows how their technology can make a difference.
And for investors, it shows that they can translate that innovation into...
It's actual financial success.
Exactly. It's not just potential, it's real-world results.
Okay, so partnerships, big part of the strategy.
A crucial part.
But break it down for us. How do they actually make money?
Well, they've got a surprisingly diverse range of revenue streams.
Oh.
Tell me more. Which is great for stability,
Yeah. Makes sense.
So there's the revenue from direct sales, of course.
Like, of their products.
Yep, like Tryngolza for FCS, that's one example.
Okay, but they also get those milestone payments, right?
Yeah, those are important.
What are those again?
Think of them like bonuses when they hit certain goals in development.
So even if a drug isn't on the market yet.
They can still be generating revenue.
That's clever.
It's a way to spread the risk, keep the money flowing.
And then there's royalties too, right?
Yep, when a partner commercializes a drug, Ionis develop.
They get a cut.
Exactly. And licensing fees as well for their technology, their IP.
So they're not reliant on just one blockbuster drug.
No. Multiple irons in the fire.
Which is good. Right.
Definitely spreads the risk.
And their financials, they reflect that approach, don't they?
They do. They've had consistent revenue growth.
Their balance sheet, it's strong.
Yeah, they've got the financial flexibility to keep investing.
In research and development.
Exactly, which is crucial in this industry.
This all sounds really positive from an investor's perspective.
It is. They're doing a lot of things right.
But you said earlier that drug development, it's risky business.
It definitely is. There are always potential pitfalls.
So what are some of those risks that investors should be aware of?
Well, the big one, clinical trials might not go as planned.
Yeah, makes sense.
A drug could look promising early on, but then
it could flop in later trials.
it happens, unfortunately.
Setbacks, they're part of the process.
They are. It's a long road to get a drug approved.
And then the FDA, right?
Oh, yeah, the regulatory hurdle.
Even if a drug does well in trials.
The FDA might not approve it.
Or require more studies.
That can be frustrating and costly.
Delays. It all affects the bottom line.
And investor confidence, too.
So it's not as simple as discovering a drug in the lab.
Nope. It's a whole other challenge to bring it to market.
Manufacturing these therapies, that must be tricky too.
It is. Scaling up production to meet demand, it can be tough.
And expensive, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of moving parts.
And then there's insurance coverage too, right?
Another big one, getting insurers to pay for these treatments.
They can be pricey, these new therapies.
They can, so there's a financial risk for Ionis if they can't get that coverage.
So investing in biotech, even a company like Ionis.
It's not without its risks.
But you have to weigh those risks against the potential rewards.
Exactly. Ionis is tackling some really tough diseases.
And their technology, it has the potential to transform medicine.
And they've got a lot going for them. They're financially stable.
Diverse revenue streams, strong partnerships.
They're not just a one-trick pony.
Not at all.
And they've been racking up some impressive wins lately.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of positive news coming out of Ionis.
Some really exciting developments.
Let's dive into those.
Yeah, all right, let's see what they've been up to.
You know, before we get to those developments,
Okay.
what really strikes me about Ionis is
Yeah.
their focus on tackling these really tough diseases.
Oh, absolutely.
The ones that have baffled scientists for, forever.
It's impressive, the challenges they're taking on.
Especially their work on rare diseases. That's really inspiring.
Yeah, those often get overlooked, you know?
Yeah, because they don't affect as many people.
Not as much research funding. It's a tough area.
But Ionis is like, nope, these patients matter too.
They're committed to finding treatments, even when it's difficult.
It's like they're saying rare doesn't mean less important.
Exactly. And they're not just randomly picking diseases either.
Right, they're being strategic.
They're focusing on the ones where their technology can have the biggest impact.
So diseases with a clear genetic cause.
Yeah, where they can design those ASOs to really target the problem.
Like hitting the bullseye.
Precisely. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Tailoring treatments to specific patients based on their genes.
Personalized medicine, that's the future.
It really is. We're moving away from that old school approach.
Take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning.
Exactly. Now it's all about, understanding your individual genetic makeup.
And using that information to develop targeted therapies.
It's incredible to think about.
And it's not just about treating diseases either.
Oh, what else?
Prevention. We're talking about preventing diseases before they even start.
Whoa, hold on. Are you serious?
Imagine screening for genetic risks, like for Alzheimer's or cancer.
And then using these therapies to, silence those genes.
Exactly. Stop them in their tracks before they can cause any problems.
That sounds like science fiction.
It does. But it's becoming reality thanks to companies like Ionis.
Mind-blowing.
And think about the cost savings, preventing diseases instead of treating them.
The economic implications are huge.
But more importantly, it's about improving people's lives.
Giving them healthier futures.
That's what drives Ionis, their commitment to patients.
They're more than just a company, they're a force for good.
I agree. They're working to make the world a healthier place.
So what's the latest? What's got people buzzing about Ionis?
Well, there was that positive data from their Alzheimer's trial.
The one for BII, B0A0, AONS, MAPTRIX.
Yeah, that one. It targets the tau protein in the brain.
Tau, that's a key player in Alzheimer's, right?
It is, and the study met its primary objective.
Meaning?
The drug was safe, well-tolerated in patients.
That's good news.
And there were signs that it was engaging with its target.
Like actually doing what it's supposed to do.
Exactly. It's early days, but it's encouraging.
Reason for optimism.
Definitely. And then there's donidalorsen for hereditary angioedema.
Oh yeah, what about that?
Positive top-line results from their phase 3 study.
Really?
Yep, they hit their primary and secondary endpoints.
So it's looking good for FDA approval.
It is. They've got a strong case.
And they also started a phase 3 trial for ION363 in ALS.
Yep, they're not slowing down, always moving forward.
And on top of all that, they got that FDA approval for Tryngolza,
Oh yeah, for FCS, that was huge.
their first independent drug launch.
They're taking the reins, handling commercialization themselves.
Next level stuff.
They're a real player now.
And they're presenting at conferences, publishing research.
Yeah, building their credibility, advancing the field.
Ionis firing on all cylinders.
It seems like they're doing everything right.
So what about the future? What's next for them?
Well, they've got a pretty ambitious goal.
Yeah.
They want to be the global leader in genetic medicine.
Not just antisense technology, but the whole field.
They see a future where their therapies are used for so many diseases,
Wow.
from rare disorders to common conditions like heart disease, cancer.
They're not thinking small.
They're thinking big,
Yeah.
and they're investing in research to make it happen.
Gene editing, that's a big one, right?
It is, and they're also looking at improving drug delivery.
To the central nervous system, that's a tough one.
It is. The brain is a hard place to reach.
But if anyone can do it,
It's Ionis. They're pushing the boundaries.
really amazing stuff.
They're a company to watch, for sure.
Well, I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Ionis Pharmaceuticals, a
Oh,
company to watch, a company to admire,
Absolutely.
that they're really shaping the future of medicine.
And as they continue to push the boundaries of RNA-targeted therapies,
Who knows what they'll achieve next?
the possibilities are endless.
Well, folks, that's a wrap for this deep dive into Ionis Pharmaceuticals.
Hope you enjoyed it.
We hope you learned something new,
Learned a lot.
maybe gained a new perspective.
Yeah, a fresh perspective.
And most importantly, we hope you're inspired by the power of science.
To change the world, to improve lives.
Stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive adventure.
See you then.